to the Sonic Shuffle, a random and holistic Sonic lore podcast. I am one of the students. My name's Devon.
I'm the other student, Morg.
And I'm the teacher, Dan. And this week, we've decided since we're rolling classic and we've covered so much, I'm jumping ahead to Sonic Mania.
Yeah, what did we skip?
I think we skipped Sonic 3D Blast. I probably would have just, read a summary or whatever. I don't think... I'm not really all that interested in the game. I'm not sure there's much to say on it other than... well, I guess there's a couple things I could say on it right now. One is that, it's mostly trivia. It's not really about the game itself. But maybe I'll list that off later. But for now, for Sonic Mania, I don't think there's been any news other than, as stated in the past, Sonic Superstars is very close to release. It is not out yet, but it will be out very soon. One thing that I have noticed is, they've got a lot of emphasis on multiplayer and weird, fun, playable characters. I think they're mostly for multiplayer, but I honestly don't know if these weird skins that you can get in Superstars are things you can play normally or if you have to be in multiplayer for them. That aside, I think we can just jump into this because boy do I want to talk about it.
Yeah, I would like to talk about the gay robots, please.
I will have to pull out the encyclopedia to look some stuff up. But anyways, the year is 2016. Largely regarded as one of the worst years of the 21st century.
I don't really remember anything that happened then.
Well,
did something
nothing
happen then?
Nothing.
Well,
HKIP was made.
Oh!
Was it made in late 2016? I always had it in my head as 2017.
Oh, you might be right.
Yeah, I think it was made in
never mind. Yeah, 2016 is the worst year because HKIP was not made in it.
It was in response to 2016, which is why I was like, oh, it's 2016, right? Because it was,
Yeah.
Made in response to yet another year in which Henry Kissinger did not die.
Uh-huh.
That's just a fact.
But, there was, the UK left, the UK did a Brexit.
That genius move that has worked out perfectly.
Donald Trump was president.
Yeah, a wild election year in which, the funniest president of human history was elected.
Say what you will about him, kind of lifting up the rock that is the right-wing base, but, man in a fever dream could tweet.
Yeah, the man could tweet is the thing.
It's unfortunate that he could tweet, because I do quote him, and I'm like, damn it, I'm quoting Donald Trump. Many people are saying that
sometimes
Many people are saying...
the haters and losers.
Many people are saying that I'm quoting Donald Trump as we speak.
Yeah.
Many such cases.
Very unfortunate that his broken brain disease led him to being a great poster.
Sad.
Sad! So true.
That's gonna be our podcast shout out today, is just listening to the Donald Trump episode of HKIP.
Yeah, just, I do have to shout out, Nintendo Donald 64. Just probably, it's, Nintendo Donald 64 is, I think, the most worthwhile tribute to, that era of American history. Anyways, there's one more thing that's going on. It's, E3 2016. And some stuff's happening. Notably, Snoop Dogg got into a beta test with, several other celebrities and, gave them all weed.
Nice.
There was,
good for him.
Yeah. Games were revealed, and notably, it was Sonic the Hedgehog's 25th anniversary. And so they had an event at E3 where they showed off, a bunch of stuff, but, two main things dropped, which were games. One was Sonic Forces, a 3D title, meant to, sort of trying to be a, harken back to, the days when Sonic had dramatic storytelling. And then there's Sonic Mania, this game. The game people got really interested in because it was a throwback, but not just like a throwback, but sort of like Sonic Mania presents a scenario where, Sega made it, continue to focus on making 2D Sonic platformers in the era of the Sega Saturn. It's like very graphically inspired by Sega Saturn games, and notably it, featured, fans of the series, longtime fans. I believe the three groups involved were Christian Whitehead, Headcanon Games, and, West Pagoda Games. Who, Christian Whitehead had been involved in, Sonic fan games for many years. I believe all of them had been involved in fan games, but Christian Whitehead was also involved in, creating iOS ports or mobile ports of Sonic 1 and 2 that, basically rebuilt the game so they would work better on a modern system, and they are astoundingly good remakes given what they are.
Damn.
That's
impressive.
Yeah. All of them had been involved in fan games at some point. I believe West Pagoda has actually gone on to, work on a new original game inspired by, Mischief Makers, I think.
Man, Nintendo would never do this.
Yeah. Nintendo would probably just execute these people.
Yeah. Something I was thinking about a bit earlier today is how there's kind of just a genre of indie games that are, dedicated Nintendo fans, making, dedicated Nintendo fans making, unofficial sequels and, homages to games that Nintendo never wants to make a sequel to.
There's actually something really interesting there because a lot of, I feel like a lot of indie games, like the music especially, is very like, without being talked about, is very like influenced by stuff like Paper Mario.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, which you know, you hear people talk about it, like Earthbound too, also. Obviously, Earthbound is like every fucking indie game that I can think of really has like some Earthbound inspirations, and that'll never get a sequel that'll be released to America at least, but there won't be like a Mother 4, I guess is what I'm saying, but
famously some fans did try to make that, and they had to stop.
But there is something very interesting about the fact that they made a Sonic game, like, in the modern era, for a system that's, like, obsolete. That's why I was talking about this, like, before the recording. I was like, there's some hauntology here. Not that I'm
ontological.
A little bit hauntological, because it's a game that is made for something that has never come to pass. So it's like a lost future regarding like Sonic games that like and it's very interesting. Like someone who knows more about games, I would like to like go through this and see like what parts of Sonic Mania could be made on those old on Saturn versus like what is technically like not possible to be made on a Saturn and is just being and it's just like mimicking what is supposed to be like because I think it's like there's a lot of that happens a lot with like music, right? Like people make like retro sounding music that technically could never be like made back then because of the technology that makes it possible. And like, someone who's like in game development, I would love to like know more about like what in Sonic Mania is technically like would have been impossible to make back then.
Yeah. I get what you mean. I've heard that coming from like the direction of like art styles used in pixel art and like throwback art, because like a lot of things will imitate the NES, but a lot of them tend to use a lot more colors than the NES was like capable of broadcasting.
And there's also something to be said about the TVs that they were made on. Like, I feel like stuff that's capturing the NES style still might not fully have those same colors because the screens have changed a lot. So something that has, like, would look good on an old, like, what the fuck are they called? People always use them for, like, Melee tournaments, and I forget what they're called.
Wavebirds, CRTs?
CRT TVs, yeah. Something that would look good on, like, a CRT TV might not look good on, like, a newer, like, smart TV. And so you're you know, do you want it to be, like, an exact copy, or do you want your game to look, like, usable on modern systems? It's a hard, like, line to tell.
I mean, it's the post that goes around where, like, you post an old video game and you're like, wow, this thing looks like dog shit, I can't believe we ever played this. And it's like, well, you're not playing it on the thing it was made for.
Right.
You're playing it on something that literally is made to point out every detail flaw that is there.
Yeah. And, like, it's however this game is made, it was, like, people definitely put love into Sonic Mania, and you can tell. And, like, honestly, like, that alone is very, like, impressive to me.
There is a, I didn't play a lot of old Sonic games when I was younger. I had, like, a Sega something, I don't remember what it was, and I had one Sonic game on it that I played for a while, and then it broke. And I never made the effort to get another one. But it did have the nostalgia of this Sonic's, like, old Sonic facial expressions. There's, like, a part in this game where he gets frozen in a block of ice, and he's just, like, little beady eyes just, like, darting back and forth, and I'm like, that's so fucking cute.
I love those, the ice frozen.
Yeah, like, where he's just kind of like,
Yeah, I that is worth mentioning, like, I'll get to it when we get to it, but yeah, there's so much detail put into the sprites, and, I had us watch, like, a portion of a long play, and that person, because presumably they've played the game many, many times, was able to get, like, all the Chaos Emeralds, pretty early on.
Yeah, those fucking Chaos Emerald sections look like a nightmare.
And one thing that was interesting is, like, they give him a different expression when he's supersonic and he's still frozen. He's less, like, shocked and more, he's got a different, like, expression of, shock. He's more dumbfounded.
Yeah, he's just kind of like, what is going on? Instead of like, oh my god, he's just kind of like, alright.
He's like, I won't die like this, at least, because I'm like,
this is just kind of like a weird inconvenience, honestly.
Yeah. I didn't think this was capable of happening to me. while I was like this.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we wanted to, so.
Well, I wanted to put you in a block of ice, so deal with it.
Yeah. As far, let's see, is there anything else I want to talk about in, like, the build-up? Let me think. A notable thing was, a trailer that was released, during, when, like, the game became available for pre-order, which, featured, an animation by, Tyson Hesse, who we've talked about before, and, the comics he worked on, like, before then, his involvement with, Sega over the years, as it, like, sprouted from, a weird comic a lot of people got eyes on to, more genuine efforts to, working on comics and finally getting able to contribute to a game. I do also remember seeing, like, some other people credited in that, and I did remember, like, seeing these people around. So that was interesting. Let's see. I guess, no, I can't think of anything else to mention up to the release. But like, people genuinely like this game. It was well received. There's a bit of, like, arguing over, like, how much, the devs, got out of it, but as I understand it, it was just, like, a one-game deal. They'd work on the game and then they'd move on to something else, and, I just want to issue a minor correction, from what I said earlier. It is Christian Whitehead who's working on the new game that's sort of going from another thing. It's Penny's Big Breakaway, developed by Evening Star, published by Private Division. Anyways, I think that's enough of preamble. So let's get into this game.
Hopefully my cat stops howling in the background. At least for
I'm gonna be honest, when I heard Gizmo do that, I literally looked to both my cats being like, was that one of you?
I was like, I know the Discord may or may not pick that up, but my recording sure did.
It's fine. It's, Booberry yells near constantly on every one of our recordings, so.
And I leave it in, because the
listeners need to know what Booberry wants to say.
Listeners deserve to hear cats.
As long as it doesn't, like, overtake your voice, because it was, like, as you were doing the preamble. Like, you can definitely cut that out if it takes over what you're saying.
Yeah, if it's somehow louder, maybe I'll, like, edit it.
Bass boost it.
Yeah, so, we get our fun Tyson Hesse animated intro.
It's very cute.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
It's like Sonic and Tails and Knuckles, like, running around, all these different stages and, like, in, like, this sort of, like, end space, this in-between space that looks like, the box art for the, Japanese Sonic game covers,
there's some
the
gay
Japanese
robots
box
there.
art. There's some gay robots. Oh, yes, so yeah, one of the first things we see in this game are the hard-boiled heavies.
I'm typing in Sonic Mania gay robots to see if it brings them up. It did.
Oh, good.
Good to know. It also brought up Metal Sonic, which is also funny.
So the hard-boiled heavies are a set of, like, 5 elite egg robos that all have, like, a different theme. There's like there's a magician one, there's a cop one, there's a knight one, a shinobi, and the Egg Emperor, who
has a cape.
I'm going to bring up something that that is very lore specific, a very specific lore detail about this game, which is, it technically takes place after Sonic Generations. A game we have not talked about, but,
that's interesting.
Yeah, but, the long and the short version is, the 20th anniversary game was like, a sort of time-traveling adventure with both classic and modern Sonic, and at the end, classic Sonic figures out how to do like a very basic version of the spin dash, and, that's an ability Sonic has in this game now. It's the drop dash. You jump and then you press A again, and he does like a little quick version of, the spin dash. It's handy.
Yeah.
I love time travel shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
Silly.
So, the game proper begins with, just, Sonic and Tails running, and they see, fucking Eggman and his hard-boiled heavies.
You see Eggman and his gay little robots doing some fuck shit again.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just kind of standing there like, are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he issues some wearing Green Hill Zone, of course. Well, actually, no, this starts on Angel Island. I'm just realizing that. It starts like Sonic 3's opening.
Interesting.
But as it turns out, Eggman, essentially upgrades these guys into the hard-boiled heavies we know, using a mysterious stone called the Phantom Ruby. And like,
Zawardo, actually.
Yeah, it does Zawardo.
Yeah. I was like, damn, this happens a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very interesting. Like, there'll be like this, whenever it like shows up and does its powers, it like, it's got like a sort of, aura of power, like, this like very electronic aura plays, and it does a little as it, does the Zawardo effect from JoJo's and sends people through time and space.
Yeah. Eggman has the world.
He does.
Oh man.
So, Sonic's gotta get going in the
original. Do you think Eggman and Dio would get along?
No. I don't know. I feel like I don't know Dio well enough to make that decision. Probably depends on the Eggman,
That's true, that's true.
Yeah. I'm thinking about this now, and I think if they teamed up, it would be a classic, Eggman, tries to like get one over, on a extremely powerful being and gets screwed over in the end.
Yeah, that's true. I also think it depends on which part Dio. Part 3 Dio might just kill him outright. Part 6 Dio was feeling a little fruity.
Mm-hmm,
so he might just allow it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they would work together and then betray each other.
Yeah, it'd be so sad.
Yeah. We get the Green Hill Zone, and notable thing, they include like a little like below cave section. I think this is technically it's been in some recent versions of Green Hill Zone, but it's neat to look at. And very quickly we get to see the first special stage. The special stages in this one are like a weird hybrid of, I guess, every version of the special stage in a classic Sonic game. Like, it's got this, like, top-down thing, you collect blue spheres, you're chasing a UFO, you also have to get rings so you don't run out of time. It's a lot. I've played it. It can be quite difficult, especially in the later stages.
Yeah, one they do later that I was watching, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this seems like a nightmare.
I'm just like, how do you
haven't
even
played it like 500 times before?
How do you even catch up to this fucking UFO?
Yeah, so the way it works is, Sonic's like running down this track. He's got to collect blue spheres, to increase his speed. the more he gets, the faster he goes. It goes like from Mach 1 to Mach 2 to Mach 3. And also the faster you go, the harder it is to, turn. So that's fun. But the person playing this knows what they're doing and can pretty easily figure out how to get it in, like, Mach 2.
Yeah, they do the old, just jump over the shortcut strats.
Yeah, the Super Mario Kart strategy.
Yeah, just jump over the grass.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it also notably, this uses like fun little like 3D graphics versions for like everything here. Like I said before, like people would, it's easy to like look at this and think, oh, this is supposed to be a Genesis game, but no, it's supposed to be a Saturn game. This is like the world where Sega keeps making Sega Saturn, or the world where Sega makes a Sega Saturn title, that never was.
Could you imagine if games still look like this on like a major console?
Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah, that's the universe where, I don't know.
That's the universe
I don't know.
where I don't have to see weird gamer takes about how the grass doesn't move when your character walks through it.
Yeah.
Or all the takes about how, like, the remakes of these women in 3D games look more ugly or whatever. Like,
oh my god, if you zoom way in, you might see a hair follicle.
I'm like,
oh
wow.
no, their boobs are slightly smaller than I thought they were when I played it as a kid.
This woman character is not actively fucking me. I cannot stand this game.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
You find out who has and have not spoken to women, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you got those takes where video games look like this, you could just hit them with my dude, it is pixelated.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
My dude, this is all you. You're doing this to yourself.
You're imagining it.
And people do this.
And you can make fan art, it's fine, like, but come on.
And, like, this stuff's even present in fucking Sonic games, like, there's, like, a specific subgenre of fan who, like, very closely analyzes, what they think is slightly different about, what one Sonic game looks like versus another, and, like,
it's exhausting to live your life like that.
It is a truly exhausting way to live your life. Don't live your life like that.
It's one thing if it's like your job because you're a critic, but it's another thing if you're just doing this to get mad on the internet. Like, relax.
Yeah.
Yeah. CinemaSins really fucked the world up, huh? Sorry.
I mean, the spirit of CinemaSins was in the hearts of nerds everywhere. That's for many years.
Yeah.
Ding. But yeah, we continue through Green Hill Zone, and eventually I'm trying to look through this. So like, through a thing in this game is like, the second act will like usually just fundamentally like change the how the level works in some way. And I'm trying to find the bookmark for Act 2. They don't change that much, but there are zip lines. But they're starting slow. There's like a mini boss. It's like 2 orbs that are chained together, and one of them will like turn red, and you can't hit that one. But the long player picked up an invincibility thing before and did it easily.
I do like the boss designs in this. They seem like they'd be really fun to play. It is always funny when long players just kind of like immediately destroy them.
Yeah.
It's like trying to judge if you want to play a video game by watching like a speedrunner play it.
That reminds me though. I remember I think when I was very young, like in like 2006 or so, I was trying to like find gameplay of like different games that I just didn't have access to, and I remember trying to watch a speedrun of Majora's Mask and very carefully trying to pause during, like, the text dialogue that they were skipping through.
Oh no! There's so many better ways.
Yeah, where you're trying to hear the
that.
important lore, and they're just like, skip.
Yeah.
Cause it was either that, or, like, you had to, like, listen to someone that you don't like the voice of read the lines or something.
Yeah, they, like, you have to listen to someone do their commentary play, and they just kind of, like, they're not a bad person, they just kind of suck.
Yeah.
And so you're just listening, you're like, oh my god, please shut up.
Yeah, I think I experienced that a little bit during this podcast. At some point I tried to pick out an LP for, I think when we were playing, when we were going through, like, Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, I picked, like, a Let's Player, and, he had commentary, and it wasn't bad, it was just weird. And then it got weirder when there wasn't commentary.
Well, that game had weird vibes.
Yeah. Also, just, like, and I'm saying that as someone who does, like, still watch Let's Plays, like, it's, you gotta find a specific person, you know?
Yeah, you gotta find, like, someone who does a good job at that sort of thing.
And a lot of times I'm
often
not...
put on long videos of, like, Hollow Knight speedruns. I actively search for the ones where a person does not say a word the whole time.
Yeah.
Or they, like, briefly talk and they're like, well, that was a good run. And I'm like, great, thank you.
I am now thinking of, like, what if someone, like, did a playthrough of a Hollow Knight and just, they didn't say everything, but every so often you'd hear them say, like, some Hollow Knight sound effect, like, just,
if they every occasionally would just go, Doma, 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 Doma.
Bafanada.
Yeah, they just say Bafanada.
That would be me, though.
So
I would actually find that so endearing, honestly. If they're playing the game completely silently, and then when, like, Iselda was like, Bafanada, they're just quietly, Bafanada.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would be me, but I'm like, nah, I would talk over the game. Who am I kidding? And I would, like, yell when I died, because maybe not as dramatically as a lot of Let's Players, but I'd be like, fuck. I was especially in the White Castle. I can't stop calling it White Castle. Fuck!
No, please call it White Castle.
I can't. I can't help it. I meant White Palace. I meant the White Palace. No.
White Castle. Me playing Hollow Knight in White Castle.
The knight goes to White Castle.
What
will he eat?
I think the knight deserves a very small hamburger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some onions
Hornet should take the knight to get hamburger.
Yeah.
So we get the boss eventually. And fittingly, the first boss is the final boss of Sonic 2.
Ooh.
It's Eggman and his big, like, mech, and, basically the way this is supposed to work, that the long player, figured out an exploit for, is like, essentially, you're, like, running along, like, this like, landscape, and you basically have to, like, look for, opportunities to get on him. Occasionally Eggman will, like, shoot out, like, a big, like, spike arm, and you can go up that. It's fun. He uses, basically easier versions of, like, the attacks from the end of Sonic 2. And after Sonic beats it, we get a little cutscene, where he and Tails, run a bit and see Eggman in his wrecked egg robo, or in his wrecked mech, and all the, hard-boiled heavies. They're just sort of, like, fucking around, bouncing around and stuff. It's great. And then they warp.
Then they get Zawardoed again.
And they're in Chemical Plant Zone now. Second stage of Sonic 2. Chemical Plant Zone. We all know this. First act boss is, I'm just gonna skip ahead to that. I don't know how I forgot this. Right, it's like this weird throwback to, I don't remember. This is like a Sonic 3 mini-boss or something. I don't remember. It's neat though. It hops into like this blue water and, just gets like slime coating.
I love this goo boss.
Mm-hmm. The slime looks really good in this game.
Yeah, it looks like a candy.
I love the slime in this one. Yeah,
Forbidden Gusher.
Mm-hmm. It's especially in Act 2 where they add occasionally they add other colors of slime. Like there's ones that make you bounce. There's ones that you slowly sink into. Some bounce more, some bounce less, and there's purple slime walls that you can cling to. And occasionally there's a big syringe that you can press down and it'll change the color. This is the slime time.
It's fucking sliming in here.
Mm-hmm. It's really good.
Bringing back 2D Sonic and bringing back slime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know that much about what the kids enjoy these days, but I'm under the vague notion that little kids still like slime, so that's good.
That's good.
I hope so.
Nickelodeon built their entire career off of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say people will be making those slime videos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what.
Yeah, it's those are a little bit different. So. I guess it's still slime. I'm more just hey, I think a little kid should get to mix some cornstarch and food coloring and whatever.
Oh yeah, true.
Mm-hmm. I will also say, I think it is slightly less worse than what it was in the 90s, which is, celebrities getting slime bukkake or whatever.
No! You
That's
can't
true.
be fucking calling it that. You're right, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, we'd all tune into Nickelodeon. They'd be like, we're gonna jet stream you with slime today.
Yeah, we're going to show Jim Carrey and Rosie O'Donnell, and they're going to, present an award for, best, teen drama lead, and then they're gonna get
Lindsay
covered
Lohan.
in slime.
And then when she accepts it, a jet stream of slime hits her in the face, and they go, oh!
God.
What a weird fucking time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Truly a decadent era.
Yeah.
They had so much slime back then that they could just splat it wherever.
The end of an era.
Yeah.
It's when the West truly fell.
Mm-hmm. But, anyways, Chemical Plant Zone's cool. The slime is such a fun addition. There's also occasionally these weird kind of slime, these weird lifts in addition to the tubes, where it's Sonic goes into a bubble and flies up. It's neat. The boss of this one is an incredibly good bit. Sonic goes down a tube and he ends up, having to beat Robotnik in a match of, Puyo Puyo, aka Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Oh. Yeah, I was like, he keeps going in one of these machines.
Uh-huh. You just, play a puzzle game for a little while. It's great.
I love that Dr. Robotnik thought this would work. He's like, Sonic may be fast, but can he solve a simple puzzle?
Yes.
Can he beat my Mean Bean Machine?
Mm-hmm. I will say this about the long player. I'm sure, I will say I'm calling the kettle black here, but this long player is not that good at, Puyo Puyo combos. They're just going for singles.
Yeah.
No strategy. Which honestly feels like something Sonic would do.
Uh-huh.
True.
Yeah.
Tails is probably right behind him being like, oh my god, you're playing so fucking bad.
Yeah.
You gotta get combos, Sonic. or he won't get more garbage tiles.
Sonic, I could have had this done like 6 times already.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't he let fucking Tails do it?
He should have.
Because it's classic Sonic.
Yeah.
Although, you can play as Tails, so if you played as Tails,
there you go.
he could do it.
Yeah.
But anyways, after this, like, really funny, like, Puyo Puyo, Dr. Robotnik's Bean Machine match, that's the boss. You get to go to the next act.
Yeah, he just leaves. He's just like, wow.
He's like, bye. I
Yeah,
guess.
for some reason I, like, misremembered and thought, oh, yeah, you're just gonna do this for a little while and then you'll fight the actual boss. But no.
No,
that's it.
You got him there.
Yeah, I also remember when I played this game that, like, there were, like, certain unlocks you could get. I don't remember how you got them, but, like, there was, like, modes. There were, like, things that expanded on, like, stuff in the game. Like, you could, like, do alternate runs where Sonic, has, like, abilities from, other games, like the Super Peel Out and stuff from, Sonic CD and, like, the little insta-shield from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But, and there was a Mean Bean Machine mode, where you could just play the Mean Bean Machine minigame and nothing else. Oh, you know what I'm remembering now? There is, like, a very specific thing you can unlock that's, like, Knuckles in Knuckles mode. Because while we don't see it, you can also play as Knuckles. And Knuckles can, you get, like, a version where, like, Knuckles is following you around as your Knuckles. It's great.
Knuckles and Knuckles.
Yeah.
I want Knuckles to recreate the trust no one, not even yourself image.
True.
Yeah, there was, like, a meme at one point, like, I think around this time, a little bit earlier, which was just, like, adding and Knuckles to stuff, or, like, creating, like, Knuckles and Knuckles situations.
Yeah, that's what I was, yeah.
Yeah. I know they, like, someone made art of it, another person, like, made a song about it, where they just replaced various words with, like, Knuckles, along with, like, other weird stuff. Deus Ex, what fucking was it called? Deus Ex, like, not Human Revolution, the one that was a sequel to it that just made it like a cover shooter. It's like Deus Ex Human Revolution. Yes, Mankind Divided, had like, the Knuckles and Knuckles, game case as an Easter egg.
That's so fucking dumb, I love that.
That's, yeah.
Yeah. There's also, I know there's also like a gag in, the original, Human Revolution that's like, it's the future, so now and this is a Square Enix game, so now we're on like Final Fantasy 32, or something like that.
And Titus is back.
Mm-hmm. But, to get back to it, so after, like, finishing this stage, Sonic gets to move on to, the third stage, and perhaps, like, one of the most iconic stages, of Sonic Mania, Studiopolis Zone. Studiopolis Zone is like, it is rather serendipitous that we do this a week after finishing that fucking, Choose Your Own Adventure, because Studiopolis Zone is a big, like, TV studio.
Yeah.
That Dr. Robotnik is, like, making propaganda TV on.
I would love to see Dr. Robotnik's propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure it's really bad.
Yeah, it's just like, episodes of Max Headroom, but Eggman's there.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
maybe it's that. And as I think of that, I suddenly think of, like, what if, like, it was just, what if it was just, like, Wayne Radio TV in an Eggman costume?
Oh, fuck.
Because,
well, now it's really good.
Yeah, now I would love it.
yeah, recently, Wayne Radio TV's been, like, going through, through, like, a subathon showcasing various Sonic games, and, on, like, the third day, he put on, like, an Eggman costume, and he looks great in it. He's wearing his iconic bald cap, he's got, like, a cheap little jacket on, it's great. But to talk about Studiopolis Zone, it's like this pink, purple, blue, very, almost like, if you look up Synthwave, you're going to get these colors. Bisexual lighting, even.
I see. Eggman is bisexual.
Yeah, he's bi.
He hot chip and lie.
I'm so proud of him.
And only a few days after National Coming Out Day, so proud of him.
Yeah.
That's the propaganda he's making.
It's the gay agenda.
Yeah.
That's why he made gay robots.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Exactly.
Yeah. I can't believe it.
He had to get them a nice cool emerald so that they could ascend to come out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had to, like, you know, come out, transition and all that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I feel like Eggman's more like an accidental ally, honestly.
Oh, that does remind me.
Eggman keeps making gay robots, but he doesn't know why.
Yeah, he just does it.
They just they're all gay, and he's just like, yeah, it just keeps happening. I don't get it.
Yeah. It's normal.
Like a very disappointed Christian father, he keeps having gay kids.
Yeah.
Are you sure it doesn't say anything about you, Eggman? And then whoever said that to him is, like, killed.
Yeah, they're roboticized and they're also gay.
Yeah.
He turns them into a robot, but unfortunately they also turn out to be gay after this.
He's like, God damn it, why does this keep happening?
Mm-hmm. So for, like, the mini-bosses, the mini-boss is, actually, it's like, it's the first of the hard-boiled heavies, Wait, I'm looking it up. The first mini-boss, I fucking love the first mini-boss. It's like, there isn't a mini-boss, I'm sorry. It's the first hard-boiled heavy. It's the cop one. Let me just grab you know what? I forgot to say something else about the stage, which is like, it's this huge throwback to, it's like inspired by Sega's arcades. In Japan they have Club Sega. In the 80s it was Sega High Tech Land. You can see this in any given Ryoga Gotoku game. I think a lot of them closed down after COVID, but like, they would have, there's like a lot of things here that they would show off at like these places, like, Sonic Popcorn Maker, Sonic Arcade games. It's great. I'm going to grab my encyclopedia. Alright, I pulled out my encyclopedia to like cross-reference information. And yeah, this like first, I'm gonna like read off the thing for, the first boss, or the first hard-boiled heavy, if I can find it.
I'm imagining a situation where all the hard-boiled heavies, all come out and transition, and what this one transitions from is from a cop to a not cop.
Yeah, there's like, a before and after. Before it's the cop, and after it's like, it just fucking like, black hoodie with a red scarf.
He was literally like a cab, assigned cop at birth.
Yeah.
Or, assigned cop at building.
Yeah, assigned cop at building. Okay, heavy gunner. He packs heavy ordnance and demands you respect his authority. The way the boss fight works is He's got a rocket launcher, and he's chasing you in a helicopter. You have to, like, you're, like, constantly running, and you, like, have to, find, like, opportune moments to attack. And also there's, like, a whole bunch of other, like, patrol cars and stuff.
Yeah, he's just recreating that scene from Darkman.
Yeah. It rules. And eventually, yeah, you, like, smash him up. And it's just so fun to watch. This game, very fun to watch.
Yeah. I enjoyed it a lot.
Mm-hmm. So, after we finish Act 1, we get to Act 2. Sonic's, like, in front of, like, some TVs, and they suddenly, like, all turn on, and they've got Eggman's face on them. It's great. This is, like, the studio proper. There's, like, a thing where Sonic can, like, fall into, like, a big Powerball machine, and, like, he just has to, like, keep running and spinning the balls, and, like, maybe he'll get a fun thing. A fun little bonus. I love it. The music in here is really good. There's fucking microphone enemies. There's like, it's really emphasizing, like, TV studio stuff here. They've got, like, fucking, film reels and, like cameras and stuff. Like the game says, lights, camera, action. Eventually, we get the boss, and the boss, is one shot by the speedrunner, but, if you were to actually play it casually, how it works is Eggman's in, like, this big weather machine, and behind him is, like, a TV with a chicken on it, just, like, giving out weather reports that, like, telegraph his different attacks. Like, there's an ice attack, there's snow and rain. It's fun, and, like, the chicken's, like, panicking whenever, like, the attack's actually going. It's good. And at the end of the stage, when Sonic beats, Eggman, it turns into, like, a signal not found screen. Actually,
I can't believe Eggman has been canceled.
Mm-hmm.
If Eggman did get to make his own TV station, do you think it would kind of be like, what is it? Spike TV? Whatever that channel where it just plays ridiculousness all day, every day now?
I'm not sure. I'm imagining Eggman Television, and I
it's
feel
just like him reacting to clip shows.
Oh, yeah. That does remind me. I don't know what TV is like anymore. But
that's fair.
Whenever I'm at Burger King, they're, like, showing TikToks. It's like stunt TikToks or something. It's
that's
like
so fucking funny.
It's like a custom restaurant TV station or something.
That's just TikToks?
It's if anything, I think it's just like sports video. It's like people doing stunts and extreme sports, and it's all got, like, the TikTok vertical video thing. So I assume these have to be like TikToks. It's very strange.
The future is a beautiful place that's now just TikToks.
Yeah. The future is your phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, but when Sonic beats this, after, like, beating the boss, there's, like, a news report that, the flying battery has returned, and Sonic and Tails get on the flying battery to Flying Battery Zone. It's good seeing this stage again. It was my favorite in Sonic and Knuckles. It's still got sick music. The first boss is like a reiteration of the old laser enemy, and there's like a fun thing where it's like it's doing attacks, and I think how you're supposed to do it is it like builds a robot out of scrap, because you're in like a big trash compactor, and this like laser's shooting at you, and you have to like bounce off of like the robots it makes in order to like get up there. And because like the trash compactor's slowly coming in, you have like a sort of like a time versus difficulty thing here, where the longer it goes on, the higher the garbage pile gets, and that makes it easier to like get to it.
Uh-oh, stinky.
Great.
Uh-oh.
Stinky. But yeah, in this version of Flying Battery Zone, like a recurring thing are these big like scrap piles that are basically cartoon quicksand. Won't someone please help us? Won't someone please help Sonic?
Please help Sonic.
And during Act 2, it like starts to get stormy. There's like these, but it's got all like the good stuff from Sonic and Knuckles, like the big spinning colander things, the fucking sick ass music. It's really good. It's really fun to watch. You can at certain points there's like breaking points in the path where you either can go down the scrap pile into a lower section, or you can try to get out of it and move on to the next area. It's fun. And eventually we get to our boss, and the boss is Eggman in a big spider mech.
I love his spider mech.
And because of how he's the sort of thorax of this thing is one of those big it's like a big bumper. So you have to Sonic has to throw himself against it in order to knock him into spikes. It looks really good. It looks really fun. This podcast is an endorsement for the video game Sonic Mania. Go play it.
Hey, why'd Eggman design this robot so that he is dangling upside down and letting all the blood rush to his head?
Yeah. He's just constantly upside down while he's doing this.
I simply wouldn't design my robot that I am in a situation where I can feel all the blood rush to my head like I'm about to pass out.
It's immersive.
That's true.
Yeah. I am now remembering a very specific, fandom thing about this boss, which is, some people, decided to, reinterpret, the upside down Eggman sprite into, this little girl named, Eggette, or Omelette. Just look up Omelette Sonic Mania and you'll see her. I think it's cute. Just another relative for Dr. Eggman and his ever-growing family.
Yeah. Who out there is fucking in the Eggman family?
Well, I don't know.
That's,
I'm now fucking thinking about...
He builds his own kids, so I don't think it's
Yeah,
him.
he probably built her.
oh god.
Waiting patiently for them to bring back Egg Jr.
For real.
For real.
Yeah, just fucking give him a shitty teen son.
Give him a shitty teen son, and have that shitty teen son, just because he hates his dad, join Sonic.
Exactly.
No ideological reason behind it. He just wants to piss off his dad.
Fuck you, Dad.
So yeah, we finish Flying Battery with, Sonic and Tails flying off in, hang gliders, and they end up in Press Garden Zone. This is another original stage. It's very high concept. It's like...
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's... So... They're like letters. They're like... It's like a printing press or something.
Yeah, they're in a printing press, and...
It's literally like a printing press city.
Yeah. I was like, what am I looking at? But no, it's cool.
It's like a printing press. It's an ancient temple. It's got like vines growing everywhere.
I'm like, wow, a giant used this to write a manuscript, you know? Like, I don't...
Yeah, and...
It's the hideout of that secret organization from the 2008 hit film Wanted.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure someone will love that reference.
Yeah, someone will get that, and they think I'm hilarious.
Yeah. I've heard of this movie, but I don't remember anything.
It's the one where they bend bullets.
Oh, interesting.
Okay!
But,
all of you, go watch Wanted. It's not a good movie, but it's funny.
Uh-huh. I will see if I can...
energy.
I will consult with my friend who streams heist movies every Saturday. But until then, I will also mention the music in this stage is very chill. It's very nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice sort of like breakaway from the like more high energy more high energy Flying Battery Zone that we just finished. There's
the heavy duty ninja robot likes to keep it chill.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking through this and I'm remembering there's like there's this enemy that is like based on an enemy that like was going to be in Sonic 1 but got removed in the end. Their name was like Splats. They were sort of like robot bunny and in this version, they've got, like, big stamps for feet, and, like, are just sort of, like, jumping around, like, stamping ink everywhere.
I like them. I think they're cute.
Yeah. At the end of, like, the first act of Press Garden Zone, we get our mini-boss. I think it's based off of, an enemy from... I think it's based off one of the bosses from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I think this was Launch Base Zone Act 1's boss. Basically, the way it works is he's got these big, like, saws, and you're sort of, like, in this warehouse full of boxes, and you have to, like, get him to, like, smash the right things, so he'll, like, get stunned, and also, like, if he smashes, like, certain boxes, they'll, like, break down and... it'll affect, like, where you can go in, like, the arena. It's neat. And in Act 2, it's, like, it's suddenly, like, all snowy. But also, like, there's sakura leaves everywhere. It's a fun aesthetic. Also, Sonic gets frozen.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about earlier, where he's, like, stuck in ice cubes.
I love to see Sonic frozen.
He's so funny.
Yeah, he's just so shocked about it. The way it works is
pissed off, not like scared or anything, just kind of shocked, especially because the Let's Player basically has him in supersonic mode this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like Sonic is shocked this could happen to him when he's in supersonic mode.
Mm-hmm. And part of the way this works is he's just, like, constantly, like, sliding around, and, he even, like, slides around, like, curves and stuff. Curves going upside down and stuff, and, he'll go really fast in one direction, and you have to, like, mash the buttons to, get him to break out. And sometimes it's necessary to, like, break down barriers and stuff.
Plot critical freezing.
Mm-hmm.
Critical, boy, I'm happy that he's on there and we're out here and they're here and we're out there.
Yeah, and it turns out
that he's the sheriff.
Man? It's Sonic.
He's the sheriff.
Yeah, and Egg Shinobi is the sheriff, yeah. Eventually we get, like, to the end and we get Egg Shinobi, I remember this fight giving me trouble when I played it. The way it works...
he looked very difficult, even while the Let's Player beat him in like 2 seconds flat.
Yeah. He's like, he jumps around, Egg Shinobi, sort of like jumps around in, like these like spinning jumps. It's kind of inspired by the Shinobi games, like, he's doing things that you can do in that, and you have to like jump into him while he's spinning and sort of stun him, and, you know, smack, like, hit him or you stun him and then you can like hit him for real. And he's got like, exploding ninja stars, that are based off of one of the most annoying and hard to avoid enemies in like the classic games. It's a lot. Where the fuck is... I'm just looking real quick to find like any info on this guy. Deaf Ninja with a freezing katana. That's neat. Sorry, I'm thinking the next two are the ones that have like really interesting stuff, but we're not going to talk about them right now. We're going to finish this with the next stage, Stardust Speedway. So when Sonic when Sonic like beats Egg Shinobi, he sees like Eggman on a computer and he's like looking up Metal Sonic and like Little Planet from Sonic CD. And before Sonic can do anything, he pulls out Eggman pulls out the Phantom Ruby and warps them all. He
just keeps hitting him with that Zoardo.
He's in Stardust Speedway, and this is like the game's like big homage to Sonic CD, just as a whole. You start out in like the past version of the game, or of the level, and it's full of like it's very jungly. It's got like vines growing everywhere. An interesting thing is like there's like these enemies that there's like these like killer vine things. You pop open one of these Sonic CD pods where the flowers come out, and then one of them will like grow into a giant vine with like chompy mouths on it. It's a cool thing.
They're cool.
I remember getting like very shocked when it happened the first time. It fucking rules.
Startles you, yeah.
Yeah.
When you're playing, I'm sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm. We get our boss, who is it's basically based off of a section from the final stage of the original Sonic CD, where Sonic's like getting like shot at by these like laser fireflies. It's a little amped up, but it's also a little less difficult because they've got better game design these days. But very importantly, when the stage ends, Sonic starts running, and he runs past the sign that says future. He smashes up like one of the time machines from Sonic CD. He runs past the sign that says future, and then he does the Sonic CD time travel thing, where he ends up in Act 2, which is the future version of the stage. I fucking love it. There's like trumpets everywhere. It's purple and yellow. There's like construction equipment and shit. It's fucking good.
And who does he happen to meet here but a funny guy?
Oh, one of the funniest guys of all.
One of the funniest guys around, honestly.
So true.
at the end of the stage, he runs into the boss, Metal Sonic, and there's this incredible sequence where he's like racing against Metal Sonic, and he's constantly running, and we see in the background there's like this big 3D pillar, so we can tell that like Sonic's running like up a fucking up like a tower or something, and it's playing this really sick remix of the fucking Metal Sonic theme from Sonic CD.
Hell yeah.
It's like based on the Bad Future version of the stage. It's really good. It's so cool. He gets into like a big, like weird frame thing, and he sends out little guys that are based off of
he gets into the fucking Sonic copy machine.
He creates these like little tiny copies,
and they're jutsu.
Yeah, they're based off of like an enemy from one of the Game Gear. They're based on like a version of Metal Sonic from one of the Game Gear games, and like they can do a spin dash, and the spin dash sounds like the one in those games. And you have to like smash them so that like when they like pop open, the projectiles hit Metal Sonic. Eventually, Eggman is able to Sonic races Metal Sonic to like the top of this sort of tower, which is a big statue of Dr. Eggman at this point. And Eggman gives Metal Sonic the Phantom Ruby, and he fucking turns into the giant final boss version from Knuckles Chaotix.
Yeah, he's just like, you have to like attack him, but he's chasing after you, big.
Yeah. I will say
he has a favorite son.
Mm-hmm. That's his favorite. I'm just looking through the footage, and at the end when Sonic beats him, the Phantom Ruby is there, but a fucking little pill bug robot just knocks it away before he can get to it.
Yeah. No, Sonic, not yet. You still have to play the game. You have fucking Chaos Emeralds. You don't need this thing.
Really funny that Sonic just kind of watches it do it too. Mm-hmm. Sonic infinitely fast, easily could have run over, but he's just like, oh, look at that little pill bug. Wonder what it's doing.
Yeah. Oh, oops.
So now that I'm thinking about the nature of this sort of lost past, I am realizing that the bosses are very inspired by. I think one of the things that inspired the design of a lot of these bosses is Sonic Advance 2, which had a whole thing where every boss you were constantly running, and you were either chasing it or it was chasing you. A lot of the bosses follow that stratagem. But at the end, Sonic runs over the Dr. Eggman. He gets fucking Zawarudo'd again. There's a 3D model of the Eggman mech, and he gets warped into the next zone, and I think that's where we're gonna leave it off for this time, since I think we've been going on long enough.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, lots to talk about.
It's an incredible game. I love it so much.
Some smart discussions on Hautology. I kept mentioning Zawardo and vague movie references. Very good episode all around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time anyway. I'm starting to get a little bit of a headache, but I'm cool with answering questions before we finish this up still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the questions.
Robots.
If we have any.
I think I'm gonna, one of them asked about the, one of the other hard-boiled heavies that we haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that one next time. Heavy Magician, who is a girl. Specifically has she, her pronouns. But we'll save that question for next time.
They're calling her Heavy Magician and also Heavy Transition.
Hey!
The heavy transition magician.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Our next question, our other question comes from Malcolm is here, who asks, do you see classic Sonic and modern Sonic as two different characters like Sega wants us to, or is it more complicated? For example, when I was growing up, I just saw classic Sonic as Sonic in his youth. And, well, here's the thing. Sega walked back on that, I think. Yes, Sega walked back on that weird, like, two worlds thing, or two timelines thing, but not at the time this game was made, not at the time when I started this podcast. It's it's a weird detail that...
When did they walk back on it?
I don't remember when they officially decided it, but I think it was like a year, like earlier this year maybe.
Oh, wow.
I remember hearing about it.
Because I legitimately always thought, like, even before this year, that, like, Sonic Generations was just, like, Sonic meeting his younger self, or I mean, we talk about them as different Sonics because it's easier for our format of the show to, like, break stuff up into different categories. And we do talk about how, like, Games Sonic is different than Sonic the Comic Sonic is different than Archie Comic Sonic. Like, those all feel like different Sonics. But, like, the classic Sonics don't have enough of, like, I'm talking and having personality to really be like, yeah, this is a different Sonic.
Yeah. I will say they do characterize them a little bit differently in, like, there's, like, Sonic Forces and Sonic Generations where both of the Sonics get to meet, and they are the thing about, like, classic Sonic is he doesn't talk because he's from an era where voice acting was pretty uncommon in video games.
Right.
It's very strange and silly.
I kind of like that, like, that they kept it, though, like, even though it's strange. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
It does make me want to be like, but what if modern Sonic was around Chibi too? You know?
Yeah.
If that's him anyway.
We should return to reject modernity, embrace chibi tradition.
Like, if they end up, if now they're considered the same guy anyway, like, he has the potential to be cute.
Make him a little rounder.
A little round boy.
I'm asking, make him round.
Uh-huh.
Especially because that would mean they would have to start making the rest of the Sonic characters flow the same way, which we know Amy, we know Knuckles, we know Tails.
Mm-hmm.
But that also means we would have to get a round Shadow.
Yes!
Yes! I've seen some good fan art of, like, round Shadow, and it feels good to see.
Yeah, we would have to get round Shadow, we would have to get, like, Chibi Rouge the Bat.
Yeah, and I would like, I think it would be very funny to, like, he's, like, Chibified, but, like, he still talks, so you still, like, hear, like, Shadow just saying, like, damn it. But he's just, like, this little guy.
Oh my goodness. I fucking love Shadow.
Someday we will get to the Shadow
all love
games.
Shadow.
I'm going to...
Game. There's just one Shadow game, but there's games in my heart, you know?
Yeah, the thing about Shadow... It is very funny.
I mean, Sonic Adventure 2 is Shadow's game.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, there's Sonic Adventure 2 and, of course, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah,
it is very funny to me, like... I was thinking about this, like, a week ago. Shadow the Hedgehog is a 15-plus-year-old video game. I think it's 18 this year.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and they let you kill cops in that.
Yeah, they let you kill cops in that. Shadow says damn. He gets to say a couple swear words. He gets guns.
I thought you were gonna say
I
thought you were gonna say he gets to say a few slurs. I don't know why I thought
you would not.
So Shadow's just fucking... He's just...
Okay, well, there's the question. Do we think Shadow knows slurs?
He's been around long enough, maybe?
I
feel like he's been around long enough, but still doesn't know any slurs.
Yeah, yeah. Good for him.
I think he doesn't, like, know them super well, at the very least.
Yeah.
Like, he has a vague concept in his head, but he does not follow on it, because
Sonic Shadow never gets gamer mad.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow doesn't. I feel like Sonic could get gamer mad. Depends on the Sonic, again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at that point, though, Sonic actively knows he's about to get gamer mad, so he just, like, goes on a run.
Yeah.
He puts down the game, he touches grass.
Yeah, he's like, well, I'm gonna go touch grass, and they're like, what? And he actively does so.
And then he's back at, like, a minute, and everyone's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Tails just doxes you.
No!
Tails just, like, sends you your IP address.
No.
And a picture of your house. And is like, you might want to throw the next game.
God!
I'm gonna go ahead and roll. That is a 6, which is miscellaneous. I might... Oh, that's right, I remember what I was doing for miscellaneous. I was gonna look up one of the, chapter books based on Sonic. I don't know if we're gonna go through all of them. There's one I specifically want to go through, but, we might do a little bit of a book reading.
Sonic Book Club.
A little bit of a children's chapter book accelerated reading program or something.
Oh, shit.
Hi, this is Dan from the present saying, no, we're not doing that either. I have plans for when, this, show is going to start regularly recording again. And that is not presently part of it. Look forward to what it will be in the coming weeks. So that's what we'll be doing next time. Maybe.
Maybe.
But I think until then, I think we can take it to the close. I'm Dan. You can find me on co-host at Big Challenges, Tumblr, Bigger Challenge. And you can listen to my other podcast, Pot of Greed. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh podcast. We are making our way through Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, where getting towards the end of the Dark Signers arc. It's not quite over yet, though. We'll be finishing it, I believe in November or December or thereabouts.
Ooh.
Yeah. Morg, where can we find you?
You can find me at Haunting the Morg on Tumblr and Blue Sky, as well as Gengar on co-host. You can also find me on my other podcasts, Forward ReZero, your ReZero Watch podcast, and check out This Guy, a podcast where we talk about OCs. And I know it's going to be a bit before this episode drops, but so at least I know for sure at that point that our episode on Guys Who Suck, where we talk about guys we've made who suck, as well as making a guy on podcast who sucks literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
There's no better guy than a guy who just sucks.
Mm-hmm. We made the shitty guy who gets gamer mad.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Make up a guy to get mad at.
It's my favorite kind of guy.
And then put him in your story or whatever.
A guy that I can sit there and be like, wow, you suck so bad.
Yeah, we may or may not be trying to do some extended check out this guy universe shit, starting with the worst possible guy.
If you ever need me to create another version of a guy who sucks, the Palpatine figure.
Oh, yeah. I assume
please.
Villain OCs are definitely something that'll be fun to discuss.
I will gladly volunteer for that episode.
Please.
Just create a nasty bitch who lives for drama.
Devon, you just need to make more guys.
Yeah. I would if I was creative at all.
Well, you should sign up on our podcast.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe
true.
you'll get some ideas.
You can sign up for Make a Sucky Guy if you want to. Anyway. Yeah, that's all for me. Where can we find you, Devon?
You can find me on a little podcast called We Rate Queerbait, where we're exploring the blurry lines between homies and homos. I'm trying to remember the last episode that we would have released. I think it was Succession.
Yeah, the most recent one was Succession.
Yeah, it was Succession. So, what if, Republicans were in love? The show? But also the episode.
God. Who will get a kiss from Daddy?
Yeah, who will get a kiss from Daddy? Who will be Daddy's favorite little monster? Mm-hmm. And who will emotionally manipulate their weird underling the most? Mm-hmm. All these answers and more could be yours. After that, we're going to do the first of the Lord of the Rings episodes, which I will be on for like the next fucking 6 weeks.
Are you watching? Is it book or film? I assume
we're
it's
doing
film.
both.
Oh, both. Wow.
Yeah, we're doing both.
Oh my goodness.
I know. It was the only way I could figure out how to do book and film without it being like, I'm going to suggest the books and then like a few weeks later being like, so now we're watching the movies.
I know Steph of Noise Face fame is a big advocate for shipping Sam and Frodo.
So am I. That it altered my brain chemistry at a young age.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big popular ship for a reason.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, you can find us on noisepace.xyz, podcast network with a lot of great shows on it. I think there was something specific you said earlier to shout out.
Yeah, we're talking about HKIP, the Donald Trump episode.
Yeah, fucking listen to Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die. It's not really active anymore, but it was a major portion of it's where a lot of Noise Space sort of like came together. It ran from 2017 to, I guess, was there an episode this year? I don't remember. No, the most recent
did
episode
it make it to like
2021?
2021? Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years ago. But,
and then things got a little depressing.
Yeah.
Like, not that they weren't before, but like, the compound.
Yeah. The thing about Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die is it's sort of a monument to the Trump administration created by leftists to show how funny, terrible, inhuman, and wet those years were. If you want to like get an idea of what that era of American history was like, and you don't want to hear it from like someone who sucks ass, listen to HKIP. There's so much going on there. I'm just skimming through these episodes and looking at the great titles like let's see, we've got DNC, The Ball's in Your Court, and It's Time to Play Horse.
God.
The entire country would become the damn Joker. Famous hockey racist. Similar to City Girls Make Do, HKIP's got some great titles. I also remember something that was really fun about HKIP is like they would always come up with like a custom outro, depending on what was discussed. And there was like this one where they were talking about this weird, I don't remember. There's some goofy stuff going on. I think one of them ended on like Wario as ASMR or something. Yeah, there's, if you want to understand, you should, this, podcast should, be forever entombed and remembered as a historical document.
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put that shit in the MoMA.
Oh, I'll do my other shout out for this week, which is Be Me to Sick Bay. It is a podcast by some friends of mine, Mira, McFreeze, and Hayes. They go through Star Trek: The Next Generation. It's pretty fun. It's like 2 episodes at a time. I haven't listened to that much of the podcast, unfortunately, but I really, really want to, because I know they're good at this sort of stuff. They're really funny people. In the Discord server we're in, the soundboard has a button where you can hear Hayes saying, "I love Star Trek Discovery, it's my favorite show." Just like, as a sort of joke at his expense.
I was like, wow, that's a controversial opinion, I think, amongst Trekkie. I don't know. Shit.
Yeah, he's like saying it sarcastically, but people can just like bring this up as a reference. It's, it's fun stuff. You should listen to it.
I might.
Honestly, I think I would like to get it on Noisepace someday. But until then, Sonic is real, he is strong, and he is my friend.
He is the only blue life that matters. Sorry, cop, robot, heavy cop.
The only one. I'm not sorry to the cop robot.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.